Today I'm going to be working on this Xbox Series X, and this is back under warranty. So this is one that I worked on a few weeks ago, and it had quite severe damage to the APU board on it. So where the VRMs are on the APU board, there was a big burn mark on the board, on the substrate of the board, and it burnt through several layers of the PCB. I managed to get it working, and unfortunately it's come back under warranty. I stress tested this for quite a while, and then when the customer got it home, it worked for about 5 hours, and now it don't work again. So it's been sent back under warranty. Hopefully I can figure it out. Hopefully it's something that isn't too bad. Whether it's going to be something related to the original fault or not, I don't know, but yeah. So it's been sent back under warranty anyway. But with that being said, my name's Hakko. I'm an electronics technician. I mainly work on games consoles, but I do work on other stuff as well. If you enjoy that kind of thing and you want to see more, be sure to get subscribed and turn on the bell notifications. That way you won't miss any future videos. If you need to organise a repair, get in touch at thecoder.repair. And if you need parts and supplies to assist in your repair, you can buy those on my online store at consolefix.shop. But with that being said, let's get into today's video. By the way, all of the links in the video description. So yeah, this is a no power. Like I said, I've worked on this a few weeks ago. And then the customers got back in touch and said, oh, well, unfortunately, it stopped working. So I took it back in under warranty. I do warranty all repairs. So, yeah, it has started to rain a little bit. So I've got a couple of spots of rain on this. But, you know, as I was bringing it in from the house to the workshop. But, yeah, this sticker, there's no way this sticker is going to survive another removal. Not a chance. So I tried to remove it as cleanly as I could last time, and yeah, there's no way this is going to survive another one. I will try. I've removed the wrong side. Dang it. Probably have to put tape over this when I put it back together. I could just replace it with a new sticker, I suppose. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do then, whoops, the sticker just pinged. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to get this thing apart, and I will take it apart to the point where I can test it, and then hopefully we can see what's going on with this. But I will fast forward through the disassembly process just because it's boring, and yeah, no one wants to see it, do they? Right, I am finally inside the console. It's taken me 20 minutes to get inside this because unfortunately one of the screw heads decided it wanted to strip. So that is an absolutely fantastic start. So I've had to grind one of the screw heads away. I've managed to get it to grind away enough to be able to release the internals of the console. I've still got to extract it from there once I've lifted this Southbridge board off. But yeah, oh, what a nightmare. Oh, that's not a great start. It's Sunday, man. I should be taking it easy. Never mind. So I'm going to get this through here. As you can see, it's being stopped by this screw head here. So I'm going to get this through here so I can remove the APU board. So I'm just going to prise it like that. And at least then I can get to the board. Kind of. There we are. Yeah, so the screw head decided it wanted to strip. I can replace the screw, that's not really the issue. The issue is getting into the damn thing, and sometimes you can use a grinding pen and just grind a flat edge into it. I tried that, didn't work. And then I tried, you know, turning it with some side cutters, that didn't work. Yeah, you can apparently put a band inside it and that'll help it, but I've never tried that. Actually, I did try it once and didn't have success with it. But at least now I can extract the screw. Gotta be careful because this is going to be sharp. But it must have gone in cross-threaded or something, and I haven't noticed because it just completely ate the screw. It was ridiculous. So I'll just turn this manually, slowly, get it out. It is coming eventually. Wow, that really is tight in there. I don't know what the hell gone on. I mean, there's not that much thread left, but I still can't turn it manually. There we are. Now I can. Yeah, so there we go, the headless screw. Nice, isn't it? But anyway, main thing is it's out. Not really any damage. Got a few scratches to the hole where the screw goes through, but not really any damage. No harm, no foul, all of that stuff. Just takes a long time to do. Right, so first thing I want to do then, just test the power supply, make sure that hasn't died. Because it's a bit strange how it's just suddenly died again. Oh, well, not suddenly. I mean, it wasn't that long after the customer got it back, but it's a bit strange how it's just randomly died like that when it was working fine. So, multimeter in DC volt mode. I'll pop one probe on positive, which is this grey wire. Whoops. One probe on ground, which is the black wire, and we do get 11.85 volts, so that's normal. So, we are getting power to that. So, the power supply is good. What is next? Next would be... How is the dust there? Did I miss some dust? Next would be to check the APU board for shorts. So we want to check on the 12 volt rail. So we'll pop one probe on ground, the other probe here. Yeah, short to ground. So it looks like we either have more internal layers shorted or another MOSFET has failed. One of the two. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look on the PCB under the microscope. So here's where we did the original work, for those of you that watched the original video. Let's just have a quick look. I don't see anything. I'm looking for more burn marks first of all. Not seeing anything. I'm not going to see anything under there unless I remove that. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'm going to inject voltage into this and I'm going to use the thermal cam. I think that's the best thing to do. So since I did the original video, I've actually got a new thermal camera. This is a Thermal Master P3. The Thermal Master, the company, sent me this for free. They didn't pay me to do anything with it. They just said, use it, review it, like it. And I do. I love it. I think it's great. So, yeah. I've got this P3 camera and it's great. It does work with the PC as well. So, we can hook that up to there. And I've got the thermal camera hooked up on the PC. So this, as you can see, at the minute it's a little bit washed out, but that's because I've got the focus set wrong. So if I just adjust the focus here, you'll see that in actual fact we can zoom right in with this. It's absolutely fantastic. If I go closer, if I go to maximum zoom, well, maximum focus, we can see individual components with this. Like that, look. Just look at the clarity on that. You can change the colour schemes and stuff, you know, you can have like a black with a white marks for the heat spots and stuff like that. I prefer this one personally. But you do you, sort of thing. But we can also go as far out as we want. Don't know how far out that is. We want it around there, so we can see the board. We can zoom in if we need to. So I'll start off with 2 volts. I'm going to ground it. Don't think there's a 12 volt test point on this side. Haha. It looks like we have another MOSFET which has failed. Just there, look. So if I zoom in, I'm going to zoom in and focus this. Yeah, we can see that MOSFET lit up. It's definitely a MOSFET. So the area which I repaired first of all didn't fail again, right? So we've got 5 amps of current at 2 volts. And it's going to be, so here is my work, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, I think it's number 4. We've got 1, 2, 3, number 4, yes. So MOSFET number 4 is what's getting hot. So that one there. So apparently, this MOSFET here has failed. So what we can do, just to confirm that, if I just pour a bit of IPA over there. You've got to be careful, especially if you're using high voltage here, because if this sparks while you've got IPA on it, it's going to catch fire. So it's apparently this one. And it's really not even getting that hot, is it? But I'm going to remove this MOSFET anyway. It's not getting that hot, but that camera picked that up absolutely fantastically. It really did pinpoint that specific MOSFET. So I've got my hot air set at 480 degrees Celsius. That's at 60% airflow. I have to check on that. There's no really heat sensitive components around this particular area, so I'm not really worried about that. So I've removed MOSFET number 4. If I just inject voltage there, I'm not getting any current draw there now. So if I go into continuity mode on the meter, so this part here is ground, and nope, we have no short there at all. So that short appears to be gone. We will double check that though. If we just go back to the 12 volt test point, we'll pop one probe on ground. So if we find another ground, there we go, yep, and test that. Short is gone. So it looks like yet another MOSFET failed. But what I am finding interesting here is I do see some signs that this entire bank of MOSFETs, this entire array of MOSFETs could possibly have taken some sort of a hit. Well, not a hit, but you know, a byproduct of the original failure. So I'll see. Oh no, never mind, that's just shards. It could have been off where I was grinding, maybe. I'm just going to clean this area up. I'm going to give it a bit of a scrub using some IPA. But why another MOSFET randomly in the middle of the array has failed, I don't really have an explanation for that. Other than, you know, it's taken an impact because of the original failure. But the repair I did initially, that's sort of held up, I suppose. It's just that another MOSFET has failed, which unfortunately we can't really predict. You know, I can stress test it as much as I like, but I can only stress test it while it's on the bench. And if it fails after that, there's not really a lot I can do to predict that. So I'm not saying, you know, I'm not trying to get out of anything. I'm going to fix this for free. I'm not trying to get out of anything, you know, warranty or anything like that. I just don't think there's any way of predicting this really, because of, you know, the fact that it's, you know, a random MOSFET in the middle of the pack that's failed. It's not like it's the one next in line, or, you know, it's not like it's the same area which I initially repaired which has failed. It's a random MOSFET in the middle of the pack. It's on the same circuit. What the hell is going on with my iron? Excuse me, Mr. Iron. Right, transfer heat, please. Thank you. What's going on with you, Mr. Iron? Doesn't want to transfer heat. Alright, so luckily it hasn't failed in the way that the other one failed, where it burnt through the board. It's just failed. So we can replace this one. Okay, so let's just replace this. Okay, so I've replaced the MOSFET. The board's a bit warm at the minute, but I've got to put it back together enough for testing anyway, so it should cool down in time. But yeah, I mean, there's a few things here. So obviously I'm doing this under warranty first of all, so please don't think that I'm just, you know, trying to make up excuses or anything like that to try and get out of fixing this for free, because I'm not going to do that. You know, this is under warranty at the end of the day, and I'm going to be doing it for free, right? So obviously the customer's not going to be paying me any more money. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that it was caused by the original fault. The fact that things are failing on the 12 volt phase could indicate an issue with the customer's electrics. It could. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it could. But it could indicate an issue with the electrics at the customer's home. If the customer's experiencing spikes in power, you know, power surges, or if they've got, for example, something on that circuit which is, you know, causing the power to become unpredictable, you know, changes in frequency and all of that sort of stuff, it could cause further issues, right? It could cause random issues, it could cause weird issues. I have known it in the past where the customers had Xbox Series X and they've had a fault on their main electrics, and I'll talk about this just as I'm putting this back together enough for testing, but they've had a fault on their main electrics, you know, their main consumer unit, the main socket ring, and basically what's happened is that's caused the you know, it was basically losing connection. There was a loose wire in the circuit, and basically that customer sent the console to me. I fixed it. I fixed the 12 volt short and sent it back. Everything was, you know, everything was fine. And then a day later they messaged me and said, oh, it's died again. I was like, right, okay, no problem, bring it back, I'll sort it, right? So I've sent it back, and I've had this exact scenario where another MOSFET has failed. So I said, right, okay, have you got a surge protector? He said, no. I said, right, okay, can you get one? He said, yeah. So he's got away, all happy, his console's working again, and then a few hours later, no, it's died again. And it was another MOSFET. It was a different MOSFET that had failed. And I said to him, right, okay, this isn't normal at this point. You know, one, maybe two, yes, fair enough, but 3 times, that's not normal. So I recommended to him to not use it until his surge protector came. He used it with the surge protector, and then something else failed. I think he had a laptop fail or something. And I said, right, you definitely need to get your electrics checked. And basically, he got his electric checked, and it turned out he had a loose wire. I don't know if that was causing it, but it turned out he did have a loose wire on the back of the socket. And, you know, that must have been arcing or something, constantly dropping in and out of power or losing power, you know, causing high resistances, which was causing less voltage to go through. Or I don't know, I'm not an electrician, okay, but at the end of the day, it was a case where, you know, it was the customer's electrics at home which were causing it, and that console never came back since. So whether he got the issue resolved with his electrics, I don't know. But yeah, anything can happen, especially if you've got, you know, a dodgy socket at home, and it can work fine, right? It's the same with, you know, house fires and stuff like this, where, you know, if you've got a socket, well, just because you've got a socket which appears to be working fine, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything's okay. I'm not saying this is the case on this one. I'm just, you know, rambling on while I'm putting this back together enough for testing. But I have had it in the past where it seemed to have been faulty electrics which caused it. Customer got a surge protector, as far as I know, and he's never been back, which is a good thing, I suppose. Well, I mean, you might have just got fed up of sending it to me, maybe. I'm not saying that's not the case, but yeah. But yeah, it's frustrating when this happens because it makes it look like we're incompetent at our jobs, when in reality we've performed a miracle to get it working, you know, again in the first place. I mean, we have got schematics for these, but I work pretty much solely without schematics. I don't really look up the schematic for these circuits, ever, right? Because when I first started working on these, we didn't have the schematics for them. They got leaked online, but we didn't have them at the time. So I was doing, you know, all of my diagnostic work, all of my fault finding without schematics, and I kind of just got used to it, and I got used to the circuits and how they work and how they operate anyway. So yeah, I just tend not to use the schematics. I don't know. Are you guys the same? For those of you that was working on these before schematics was available, do you use them now? Because I really don't. I forgot the plate on here. I haven't replaced the thermal paste on this, by the way. I've just added to it because, well, let's be honest, it's brand new thermal paste. It's only a couple of weeks old and it's not dried up, so I've just added a bit to it because, well, I'm lazy. No, I'll do that sometimes if I've got it in under warranty. If I haven't got to clean the thermal paste off, I'll just add a little touch to it just to, you know, make sure it does full coverage, because obviously some of it squeezes out the sides and stuff like that. So yeah, but I don't know what is the case with this. Is it a case where it's just, you know, that MOSFET was weak because it took a big hit, or what? You know, is it a new issue? I don't know. I'm not going to charge for a new issue. I would love to know, and only time will tell. You know, if you don't see another video for this particular console, then yeah, it means that it's fixed permanently, you know, or at least I'll tell you what I'll do actually. If this does end up coming back under warranty, I'll leave a comment and I'll pin the comment and just you know, we'll see. Basically, I can't say for sure whether it will or not, but all I'm gonna be able to do here is just send it back to the customer and hope. I'm going to stress test this again. I'm going to get my kids to stress test it again. Obviously for, you know, probably 2 days this time just to make sure. But we'll see anyway. Right, so what I'm going to do then, I'm not going to worry about anything else. I just want to see if this turns on. If it turns on, I'll get it put back together. So I'm not going to worry about Wi-Fi, you know, I'm not going to worry about the fan, the screws, the disk drive, all of that. All I care about is, does it turn on? It doesn't turn on. Huh. Well, that's not good. Has it died again? Right, that hasn't developed another 12 volt short. So what about this one then? Has this got a 12 volt short? So what I'm going to do is, first of all, short out that 12 volt pin, strain any excess current, it'll put it down to ground. Let's test the 12 volt pin. No short on 12 volt. What about here? No. No. So why is that not working? Right, let's just check on this board and see if we can find any issues. So let's check my 5 volt rail, which is just here. That's not short. Okay, so 12 volt, that's not short. 3.3 volt, not short. 12 volt gated, Not sure. Oh, hang on. We might have an issue with the BIOS here. Uh-oh. That BIOS does not look good. Ooh. If that's gone, this is game over. That BIOS doesn't look good. Looks like we've got a blowhole in it. Nope, that's not crap on the board. Warm that up, destroy the IPA, and nope, that looks like a blowhole in the BIOS. That would 100% stop it from turning on. That's not good. You cannot change the BIOS. It can't be done. Let's just continue with some more tests. But the BIOS can't be changed at all. 1.8 volt is not short. 1.1 volt is not short. The NCP 186 1.8 volt standby. Sorry, safe bridge 1.8 volts. No. This isn't good. This isn't good at all because the BIOS cannot be changed. So I've got another safe bridge board here. This is a donor board. I don't know if it works or not. I'm just going to try it. So if this donor board works, if it turns on, then I know. Well, oh, what the hell? Okay. Huh. What the hell is going on with this safe bridge board? Why is it saying it's turned on? Okay, I guess that's faulty. I didn't really want to do this, but I'm going to have to use a known good working board. That's annoying. Right, so does this one work? It should do. Might not work by hot plugging it like that though. Right, let me just try this using my bench supply instead. Right, I get 41 milliamps current draw. Huh. Okay. Is that power supply faulty? Right, if the power supply is faulty, I'm a little bit screwed at the minute because I haven't got any. I'd have to order one and the customer would have to pay for that. So is the power supply just failing under load? That's possible. Or was it just a glitch in the freaking matrix? What the hell is going on? Was that in protection mode? Because that's working now. And that does actually have a very slight blowhole in the BIOS. Or at least a pry point, you know, where someone's poked and prodded. Doesn't look great. But what's going on? Like, why didn't it work when it was inside the housing? I mean, I guess we'll find that out in a minute, but that must have been in protection mode, you know, from when it detected a short, because that it will shut itself off. Well, that's working. Still got my account on it. I've got to delete that before it goes back. Right, well, I mean, there's some really weird things going on with this. Before I post this video, I'm going to really stress test it. Like, I'm going to put it all back together, and I'm going to really stress test it. I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to find the biggest game I can possibly find, and I'm going to get the kids to play it and actually play it properly under my supervision or under the mom's supervision, not force them. Please don't think I'm going to force them, but yeah, I'm going to get him to put it through his paces for a few days. I'm going to message a customer and let him know what's going on, because I've had this a little while. I do like to get warranties done as quick as I can. It's Christmas at the end of the day. It's busy. It is what it is, but I really don't understand what's going on with this console. So another MOSFET's died, but then it's taken a good 5 to 10 minutes for the Southbridge board to actually work. Like, it's weird. Sorry, for the power supply to actually work. It's very strange. Anyway, I'm confused, but I'm going to get this back together anyway. I'll give it a stress test. I'll leave something just here on the bottom of the screen, let you know what's going on with it. Does it work or not? Anyone that watches the channel regularly, you'll know if it don't work, if it did die again, I'll say something. Or I'll just cut the video right here and restart. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Why do you think this MOSFET, the other MOSFET, failed? And what the hell was going on with that power supply? Because it really confused me. But for now, it's fixed. Again, sort of. But yeah, hopefully it stays fixed. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. If you need any parts and supplies for your repair, you can buy those on my online store at consolefix.shop. If you need a repair, get in touch at thecody.repair. Links will all be in the video description, as well as a link to the thermal camera as well, which, from what I've seen over the past few days of using this thing, it's absolutely fantastic. It's beautiful. It's got a macro lens, and I can adjust the focus manually as well. It's great. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.